Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Live Live, a place where we meet up to receive motivational, inspirational, and activational strategies for those challenging and changing life moments. I am your host, Keeler Bryson. Hey, everybody, it's another marvelous Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know that I did. I was able to get some things done, some work done, thinking on some different projects and strategies that I'm trying to get accomplished before this year is over. Because as you know, October is right around the corner. And that means we're entering in the last quarter of this year. Can you believe that? It's almost over for 2014. So whatever it is that you have on your to-do list that you want to get done before this year is over, I want to admonish you that it is now high time to get those things done because 2015 is fastly approaching. So let's get it done. Let's get this, wrap up that to-do list so that we can begin planning and strategizing our to-do list for 2015. You know, that's part of why we meet every Monday night here at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time so that we can begin to strategize and plan and execute those plans and fulfill those dreams. You know, it's time out talking about what it is we desire to accomplish and fulfill. You know, we've talked about it long enough. It's time for us to get this thing done. That's right. No more talking. We want to see some action. You know, you've heard the saying, talk is cheap, and it is, because talking doesn't cost you anything, and you'll never get anything accomplished just talking. You've got to begin to work that plan your work and work your plan, and that's what my goal is with these Monday night calls, is to challenge and inspire us and to motivate us to get busy executing your plans and your ideas and your dreams so that you can live a fulfilled life, a life that feels complete. You know, tonight's topic, it coincides with everything that I just said. You know, ending this year well and making sure we fulfill what we started out as far as planning in 2000, at the beginning of 2014. You know, tonight I want to talk about staying the course. Because if we're going to accomplish anything, those goals and plans that we came up with at the end of 2013, and for some, you probably came up with yours at the beginning of 2014, January 2014, you know, it's easy coming up with those plans and writing them down. That's the easy part. But how many of you know that it gets kind of challenging at times trying to actually execute those plans and those dreams that we've come up with? And so tonight's topic is basically tying in with that. You know, we have to learn how to stay the course. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about tonight, staying the course. You know, when you think about staying the course, most of us probably envision, let's say, a road or something. And on that road, as long as you stay on that road, it's going to take you somewhere. But if you get off of that road and decide that you want to walk through the woods, yeah, it's probably going to take you somewhere too, but more than likely it's going to take you somewhere that you don't want to be. You're going to encounter a lot of wild animals, a lot of wildlife walking through those woods. But as long as you stay on course, that paved course, that course is going to lead you to a desirable destination. You know, we're all on a journey to something. Wouldn't you agree? Whether it's we're on a journey for weight loss or on a journey of getting out of debt or we're on a journey of saving money, you know, we're on a journey. You know, many of us are on a journey of just trying to stay on course for things to get better in our lives, for things to shift. You know, and in order to accomplish these things, whether it's weight loss, getting out of debt, saving money, we must stay the course. Do you realize there is a course that we must take if we want to get out of debt or if we want to lose weight or if we want to save money? There is a designated course that we must stay on in order to reach the destination of being debt free or having an abundance of savings stored up somewhere. Staying on course is not always easy. And most of us can attest to that and say, yes, Keila, I'm a witness. It's not always easy to stay on course because sometimes we may not always see the immediate results, right? While we're staying on course. You would think that as long as I'm staying on this course, that I will begin to see some sort of result immediately. And in many cases, we may see a little bit of something, if that, but in most cases, we don't see that immediate result when we first start off. But if we continue to stay on course, we will get to experience the desired result that we're seeking. In many cases, when we're trying to stay on course, we experience tormenting results. And this is where the problem comes in. It's easy to stay on course when things are going well or as expected. Sure, it's no problem to stay on course when you got money in the bank or you're out of debt, But how many of you know when you're trying to get out of debt or you're trying to lose weight, that takes a lot of work and a lot of willpower, a lot of time and a lot of effort. And it's not easy. But if we continue to stay the course, guess where that path is going to take us? We're going to look up and find ourselves arriving at the destination that we're trying to get to. Many folks right now are struggling, whether it's financially, people are struggling on their jobs, people are struggling and wrestling with just trying to manifest a better life, trying to live a better life. They know what they want, but the struggle is, and they may have even identified the course, but the struggle that most people experience is staying on that course because it can get so discouraging at times, staying on course. Even though you know that you're on the right course, you know that this course is going to lead you to being debt-free or losing weight or saving money or writing your book. You know that this course will lead you there, but sometimes it becomes discouraging when we don't see the immediate results. And that's what I want to deal with tonight, how to stay on course when you don't see the immediate results. We have got to learn the art of staying on course if we're going to achieve or accomplish anything. And it would be so wonderful if we would begin to see the immediate results of staying on course. But how many of you know that that's just not how it is? A lot of times staying on course, it's hard to stay on course when all hell is breaking loose. That's a whole nother type of animal. Like I said, it's easy to stay on course when things are going as planned or as expected, but how do you stay on course when all hell is breaking loose, when you're experiencing one setback after another, and when you're experiencing delays, and it just looks like everything that you're trying to do is working against you? It feels like there's this wall up that's trying to stop you and block you and hinder you. And sometimes we can wear ourselves out just trying to fight that force or that energy while we're trying to stay on course. That in itself can be exhausting. And as a result, that's where many, many, many people end up getting off course, throwing up their hands and saying, I'm tired. This is in vain. All this work and trying and effort and time has been in vain. But how many of you know it's not in vain? It will come to pass for those who will stay the course. So whatever it is that you are desiring or you're trying to accomplish, you must stay on course. In spite of the hell that's breaking loose, stay on course. In spite of the setbacks, stay on course. In spite of the delays, stay on course. Because this course is leading somewhere. If it was not leading to someplace, why would someone take the time to dig up the street and lay the asphalt and make it all nice and smooth if this course was not going somewhere. The very fact that you're on a course is the proof and the evidence that you're going somewhere if only you will just stay on that course. You know, when you give up or go off track, how does that make you feel? Or have you ever done that? First of all, let me ask that question. Have you ever gotten off course? Or have you ever given up on something that you had started out doing well, whether it was losing weight or saving up money for buying a car or just saving money just for a rainy day? And have you ever experienced giving up or getting off course of that thing? You know, most of us at some point in our life probably can say, yeah, I've experienced getting off course or getting frustrated and just throwing up my hands and saying, you know, I'm not going to try this anymore. You know, that's a terrible feeling when you give up and get off course. You become depressed, and quite honestly, you'll feel like a failure when you get off course. Because you'll look back and think, man, I was making progress. A lot of times you don't even realize the progress that you was making until you decide to stop or to get off course. And then that's when folks will come up to you and they're saying, wow, how is the weight loss going? And you tell them, and then they're like, oh, no, I hate that you were doing so well. I was looking up to you. And oh, that's when you realize just how much progress you were making. But a lot of times when you're staying on course, like I said, you may not see the immediate results. You may not even feel the success, the small successes that you are accomplishing. But the moment you decide to get off course, you definitely at that point are not going to reach your destination, because the only way that you can get there is by staying on course. Staying on course makes you stronger. You know, it makes you stronger because you built up a stamina of discipline, of being faithful and consistent and steadfast in spite of the delays, in spite of the setbacks, in spite of not seeing the immediate results of what it is you're trying to accomplish. And so when you stay on course, yeah, you're going to be stronger because you've perfected some virtues that only come forth as a result of staying on course. When you stay on course, not only do you become stronger, you build your confidence. Because when you are stronger and you stay on course and you're having successes, you're able to see some results as a result of your staying on course, yes, it's going to build confidence. You begin to realize that you are capable of staying on course and accomplishing something and achieving something. It builds up your confidence to know that you can do anything. Yes, it may seem hard or difficult, but that confidence in you will begin to rise up and to know that you are more than able to do whatever it is that you're trying to do. You just got to make up your mind that you want to stay on course. No matter what, have a made-up mind, I'm not getting off course. When you stay on course, believe it or not, it improves your health. You're saying it improves my health. Really? Yes, staying on course improves your health because you're not stressed out and depressed because you didn't stay on course. You know, when you get off course, it brings depression. It makes you feel bad and embarrassed, and all of those feelings affect your health. When you don't have self-confidence, that's being in an unhealthy place. And it begins to reflect in your countenance, in your smile. And as a result, it takes over into your health. And the next thing, you don't feel good. You don't feel motivated. All you want to do is kind of lay around and just be still and be quiet and watch TV. And before you know it, you may be sitting on the couch and you're eating your problem because you got off course and now you're feeling bad. And all of that will lead up to some health problems. When you are staying on course, you improve your health because you're on the move. You come alive. You're happy inside. And how many of us know that happiness is medicine in itself? Being motivated and inspired is health in itself. So, yes, staying on course improves your health because When you're staying on course, you are more optimistic. You're more positive, and all those things helps our health to be improved. When you stay on course, it makes you feel unstoppable. That's right. You know what it feels like to feel unstoppable when you stayed on course and all of a sudden your dream and your goal is manifesting because you stayed on course. And then you're able to see that dream or that goal come forth after all that waiting and staying on course when it looked like it wasn't going to happen, when it looked like you were being rejected and turned to aside by people, or people changed their minds on you, or you may have gotten sick along the way, or some people may have walked away and you lost support, and yet you stayed on course, and as a result, you were able to see your goal and your dream come forth in the midst of all of those storms that you had to walk through. And when you see that thing manifest, something that looked like it wasn't going to happen for you, it looked like it was going the other way, and you were wondering, is this ever going to turn around for me? And when it does, yes, you feel unstoppable because you did not stop. You kept going and you stayed the course. When was the last time you felt unstoppable? Think about it. When was the last time you felt unstoppable? Well, then that was too long. That's too long to feel unstoppable. If you can't think of a recent time that you felt unstoppable, that's too long. So that lets me know that you may not be feeling unstoppable because you have been stopping. And we all know that when we're stopping, then we're not staying the course. And when we're not staying the course, we're not accomplishing our desire or our goal. Yes, it's time for us to get that feeling of being unstoppable back, because the truth of the matter is you are unstoppable. You've just got to make up your mind to quit stopping. That's it. Make up your mind to quit stopping all the time. Stay the course. Stay the course. This is a season for finishers, not quitters or stoppers. This is a season for those who will stay the course. This is a season where there's going to be a blessing to advance, a blessing to prevail, a blessing to achieve and succeed for those who will stay the course. There's a scripture that came to mind in preparing for this that ties in with staying the course. It's in 1 Corinthians 15 and 58, and I'm going to read it from the Message translation because I love the Message translation because it's straight up. It tells it to you like it is, and it says it in terms that anybody could understand. It's more strong and bold in the way that it translates. And it reads like this. It says, with all this going for us. I'm going to start right there. With all this going for us. Right there is where we need to stop and say, you know what? I'm looking at what's not happening for me. I need to start focusing on the things that are going for me. Because when you do that, it helps you to stay the course. Many times we get off course because we're looking at what seems to be not going for us, and we get discouraged. But when we've got to learn to be grateful and begin to think on all the things that are going for us, because you know what? There are some things that are actually going for you. But what we fail to do in many cases is to sit down and actually think on those things. We get so engrossed in the things that are not going for us, or that we perceive are not going for us, until we can't even see the things that are going for us. So that's my first point in this scripture. Think on all the things that are going for you when you're staying the course. And when you do that, it'll help you stay encouraged to stay on the course. It says, with all this going for us, my dear, dear friends. And that's what I'm saying to you who are on this call tonight. To my dear, dear friends who are calling in or who are listening to me at this moment. Stand your ground. That's it. Stand your ground. When you stand in your ground, that means you're not backing down. You're not going to go sit down. You're not going to turn around and walk away. You're going to stand your ground to stay the course. That's right. Stand your ground to stay the course and stop quitting, stop turning around. The next part of the verse says, and don't hold back. That's it. Don't hold back. Go forward. Give it your all. Don't start skipping on staying on course and taking your time and stopping to look at the birds and stopping to look at the lake. And don't hold back. Yes, staying on course may not give you the immediate results, but don't you let that hold you back from operating in a spirit of excellence in whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Because a lot of times, quite honestly, when we feel like something is not going to happen, what we do? We begin to hold back. We don't put our heart into it. We won't give it our all because secretly we feel like what we're doing is in vain. So we're not going to think as hard. We're not going to work as hard. We're not going to pray as hard. We're not going to be consistent, or we're not going to write those visions out or work those plans as hard. And so we cannot be that way if we're going to stay the course, and not only stay the course, but arrive to our destination. The next thing, not only do we have to stand our ground and not hold back, we've got to throw ourselves into the work. That's it. Throw yourself into that work. Throw yourself into that project. Get engulfed in it, whatever it is, whether it's writing a book, losing weight, getting out of debt, saving money, waiting for your shift or your change to come in your situation. Throw yourself in it. Keep working that ground like you know it's coming to pass, like you know you're going to achieve it and receive it real soon. Throw yourself into it. Speak it, see it, write it down, envision yourself manifesting and actually experiencing what it is that you're waiting on. You know, see yourself in it. It says throw yourself into the work of the master. Whether it's the work of the Lord or the work that you're trying to do, throw yourself into it. In other words, give it your all. Give it your best shot. Give it your best effort. Be confident that nothing that you're doing or nothing that you're doing for God is a waste of time or effort, because this is one of the biggest misconceptions that we end up entertaining when we're weary and tired of staying on course. We begin to feel like whatever it is we're doing is a waste of time and it's a waste of effort. And a lot of times we feel that way because we don't see the immediate results. We're not receiving the accolades. It looks like nobody noticed what we're doing, or we're not feeling like we're making progress. But this scripture says, be confident, knowing that nothing that you're doing for God or for yourself while staying on this course is a waste of time or effort. It's not a waste of time. Every ounce of time, every ounce of effort of staying the course to whatever it is you're trying to achieve is getting you closer and closer, little by little and day by day. But you've got to continue to stay the course. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up. Don't stop. Quit stopping, because if you do, you're never going to make it to your destination. What could have been a 3-day journey ended up taking you 40 years. And it's time out for us taking these extended courses of trying to get somewhere. If we would just stand our ground and not hold back and throw ourselves into the work and be confident knowing that whatever we're doing is not a waste of time or effort, we're going to end up making it to our destination. But we must stay the course. So you're saying, Keila, how do we stay on course? Well, I'm glad you asked that question, because if you had not asked that question, then all of what I've said up until this point will be pointless and in vain, because all of what I just said is great, but it will be incomplete without actually giving you the steps of what I believe is necessary if we're going to stay on course and ultimately end up achieving our desired dream or goal. So the first thing we must do to stand on course is we must remember why we started. That's right. Think on why you started. Think on why why you're desiring what it is you're desiring. Think on it. Think about that job. Why do you want that job? Well, I want this particular job because I desire this particular job because it pays well. I'll be able to provide for my family the things that I need. I'll be able to save. I'll be more fulfilled. I'll be able to use my skill. Or if you're trying to lose weight, remember why you want to lose weight. Well, it'll help me to live healthier. I'll feel better in my body. I'll be able to get the clothes that I need and possibly save money because I won't have to buy the larger sizes. Remember why you want to write that book. Because you have a story to tell that you believe will be a blessing and a source of encouragement and strength to others. Always remember why you started. Always remember why you're doing what you're doing. What is the purpose in it? And if you can keep yourself reminded of why it is you're trying to do what it is you're doing, then that in itself will help you to stay on course, because you're not just doing something to be going through the motions. Most of us are doing something with a reason in mind, or a purpose in mind, or a goal in mind. And when you think on why you want what you're desiring, why you started, or why you're doing what you're doing, also think on how empowered you're going to feel once you achieve or accomplish that which you're trying to do. Yes, you got to see that thing in your mind. You got to remember why you started and then think on and see how empowering you're going to feel once you accomplish it. Number 2, realize that there will be ups and downs. Let me say that again. Number 2, you've got to realize that there will be ups and downs. That's life. And right now there are many people are struggling with life, just trying to live everyday life is a struggle for many, and they get off course. They can't stay on course to achieve anything because they get discouraged along the way, because they don't realize that there will be ups and downs. Nobody is living a life that's always up, up, up. Most of us, to tell the truth, are living a life of duality, with ups and downs happening at the same time. But many of us have realized, too, that this is just life. And many of us have come to learn, I know I have, that there will be ups and downs, and a lot of times they're happening at the same time. And that's life. And most of us, young people especially, have got to learn how to manage the ups and downs at the same time, and to realize that it's just life. It's going to work itself out. There's no need in getting stressed out and worked up about it. Just stay on course, because ups and downs are going to come. And I know a lot of times on TV we see a lot of reality TV, and it gives off false impressions of these people's lives, and it'll have you thinking that you're not living a fabulous life because you don't have a bunch of ups in your life. But don't be fooled by that. Life is ups and downs, but how we react to those lows, to the temptations, and to giving up in those moments of weakness is what is going to define our life. You know, life is trying to teach us how to react to the lows in a spirit of encouragement, and how to overcome temptations in those low times, and how to deal with the moments of weakness. Because it's easy to live life grand when you're living high, or you're going through your ups all the time. But life is a whole nother level when you're trying to learn how to navigate and manage those down times. You know, these moments happen to everyone. And I want you to realize that, because sometimes, you know, your mind will try to trick you and tell you that you're the only one going through these down times. That is not the truth. Many of us have experienced the downs. But what defines and separates us is how we deal with those outcomes. We cannot let the down times cause us to get off course, because nothing worth having is going to come easy. You have to expect the downs when you're trying to stay on course. You have to accept the downs when you're trying to achieve anything that's worth achieving. There will be ups and downs. That's life. Don't let it take you out because you're experiencing a downtime. Just pick up the pieces and begin to think on what is going great for you in the midst of these downtimes, and you will be surprised at what you will realize is actually going well in your life. The next thing that you need to do if you're going to stay on course, I want you to find 14 motivational quotes that will help inspire you when things get tough or when you start going through those downtimes. And once you identify those 14 motivational quotes, I want you to write them down on some cards. And every time you begin to feel tempted or discouraged to get off course, I want you to read these quotes. Here are a few of mine that I found that I like. The first one says, without a sense of urgency, desire loses its value. You know, if we don't have a sense of urgency about staying on course, then our desire begins to lose value. We don't even have a strong desire for that thing. We must always have a sense of urgency when we're staying on course and when we're trying to achieve anything that's worth having. And that quote was by Jim Rohn. Jim, R-O-H-N. The next quote, you are the only real obstacle in your path to fulfilling life. You are the only real obstacle in your path to fulfilling life. And that's the truth. A lot of times we think that these downs that we're experiencing is the obstacle that's preventing us from having a fulfilling life. No, it's not the down. You're the problem. You're the reason why you're not having a fulfilling life, because when you go through the down times, you always get off course, and we'll find ourselves not being unstoppable, and so we end up giving up, and then we don't achieve or fulfill anything because we got off course. We decided to quit. We decided to stop. So you cannot be the obstacle in your own path. You've got to learn how to overcome, because life is going to happen. And if we don't learn how to manage life, we're going to always have a problem with stopping and starting over. The next quote, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. Don't wish for less challenges, wish for more wisdom. And that is by Jack Hyles. Jack, Hyles. You know, it's easy to wish for wish life was easier. You know, don't wish it was easy, just wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills to deal with those problems. You know, and don't wish for less challenges, wish for more wisdom on how to handle those challenges. And when you look at life like that, you'll have a more joyous time on your journey, because you'll learn how to accept the fact that, you know, there may be some downs in my life, but that down is according to how I handle this problem. Because you can be having an up time with a down problem if you got the right mindset. And when you develop your list of motivational quotes, these type of quotes will help you to think on what's really important. And it'll help you to regain your focus back and to not be caught up in your own sad, sob story, but to keep yourself motivated to stay on course, motivated to not give up, motivated to keep moving forward. And the last thing, remember, staying the course is the only way to fulfilling your dream or goal. There's no other way. There's no shortcut to fulfilling your dream or goal. The only way you're going to get there, you've got to stay the course. There's already a designated course that must be followed in order to reach that dream or goal. That dream or goal will only manifest after we've spent the necessary time and effort. It's not going to come forth until we've spent the necessary time and the necessary effort, which is the price that must be paid for the dream or goal to come to fulfillment. Yes, do you realize there's a price that has to be paid? Yes, a price of time, a price of effort, a price of being consistent, a price of having discipline and focus. And once the price has been paid, then the dream and the goal will begin to manifest. And so that, my friends, is the secret to staying the course so that you can achieve and fulfill those things that you have been desiring for a long time to fulfill, but haven't really identified how to get there, how to stay on course, so that you can be a finisher and not a quitter all the time, so that you can be a person that's manifesting blessings and a fulfilled life instead of a person still sitting on the sidelines, always in depression or sadness because you just can't seem to figure out how to make this thing happen. Well, that's my time. This has been a Teachable Life moment with Keeler Bryson, where it is absolutely imperative that you live live. If you would like to connect with me, you may do so. I'm on Facebook. You can search for me, Keeler Bryson, Teachable Life Moments, LLC. I'm on Twitter at Keeler Savant, SAVANT, or you can visit my website at KeelerBryson.com. If you would like to direct message me, do so. My email address is Keeler@KeelerBryson.com. Well, everybody, see you on next Monday night at this same time, and have a great week. And remember, stay the course.